Birds. The preseason is officially in the rear view. We'll tell you who stepped up.
Gets chased down. What a job. It goes high. Washington brings it down.
And what tough decisions still lie ahead. Plus, we'll get you ready for an Irish start to your college football season. That and much more ahead on the preseason finale of Early Birds.
Grab a cup of your favorite Joe and let's talk Falcons football on Early Birds, presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Good morning and welcome into Early Birds. He's DJ, I'm Justin, and Shock, you were at the stadium till late last night, man. Preseason's over. How you feeling?
I feel good. I'm glad that it's finally done, but we can get to the real action. You know, preseason was fun. We got to see some of the nuances of this new team.
Yeah.
But now we get to see the real deal, so I'm ready for that.
We learned a couple things, decisions to be made, work still to be done, and we will get to that and more. In the opening drive, let's get things started. Falcons fell last night 31-0 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Atlanta did not play their starters. The Jags did for the first few series. Trevor Lawrence and company. Tough test, Shock, for the backups, but hopefully some valuable experience.
Oh, no doubt about it, because this is a chance for those guys who may be depth players or guys you may need down the road to say, okay, if we need to depend on these guys, can we depend on them? And I thought some of the guys showed up. Some guys maybe, step back a little bit. But this was a great opportunity for those guys to show the coaches that, hey, if I have to play against the ones down the season, I'll be ready to go. Good experience for all of them.
Yeah, it was a challenge for sure. Not the score the Falcons wanted, but you hope they're going to take away some positives from it. Raheem Morris says the guys you saw on the field last night, they left it all out there in the game and throughout camp.
They've done everything I've asked so far. When we talked about practice, we're talking about how we practice, whether it was OTAs, whether we went to a tough training camp, whether it's been going on in these games, whether it's been playing or not playing, whether it's been being in the right spot at the right time. They've given me nothing but effort. They listened like I couldn't be more grateful and thankful to the guys in that room and what they've done. And for that, they will always be Falcons.
Always be found. That's a nice sentiment there from Ron. As we continue on the opening drive, you can kind of hear it in his voice, right? Tough job between now and Tuesday afternoon for Coach, for Terry Fontenot. When DJ, they're going to have to get the roster down to 53 players. Yeah,
this is probably the worst time of the next 72 hours is trying to figure out which guys make this team. Because there are going to be a lot of guys who say, you know what, I've done everything I thought should be on this team, but there's just not room. This is a deep team, a lot of depth. It's going to be interesting to see which guys actually stay around. But it's going to be tough to see which guys make it and which guys don't, because apparently it's going to be a lot of guys I think should make it that probably don't. Now, one of the standouts from last night says he's got a lot of support from the veterans on the team.
Like you said, man, it's a crowded room, and everybody in the room can ball. You know what I mean? And so the one thing I'm so grateful and blessed about is that we didn't have a room where there was any bad mindsets or clicked up, some people hanging with each other. Man, everybody talks to everybody. Everybody helps each other. We all joke, we all laugh, we all collaborate, we all share information. We all get on each other when it's needed, but then we always give praise whenever somebody's down or whenever somebody's up. So it's a great room. It's been a blessing to be in.
It sounds like great chemistry. And as we wrap up the opening drive, let's talk big picture, right, Shock? It feels like the expectations around this team have changed. How are you seeing it?
Yeah, they definitely have changed. I mean, you think about bringing in some Pro Bowlers, some guys that get you excited about this team, and then you look at the schedule and you say, we got 4 primetime games. The nation, the people on the outside feel like, you know what? This is a team that people want to see. So the expectations are higher now. You had a chance last year. Now you got a chance to step in there and say, you know what? We can go do some things, and a lot of people want to watch us play. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, that early season schedule is going to tell us a lot about this team. It's going to be tough. It's going to be fun, and we're going to be here with you for all of it. Welcome into Early Birds alongside DJ Shockley. I'm Justin Felder, and Shock, the first time we see Kirk and Bijan and Drake and Grady, it's going to be the season opener. So my question for you is, any worry about a slow start to the season?
I do, actually, because, there's a difference between practice speed and game speed. I think game speed is going to be a little bit different, and these guys haven't adapted, understand where guys are supposed to be. But I'm hoping it happens sooner rather than later.
Right.
But I mean, it's just natural to have a little pick-me-up time to get ready to go.
Well, speaking of pick-me-up, you and I both had late nights last night. You're going to try your first cup of coffee this morning?
No.
All right. We're going to keep working on it throughout the year. Shock, the ultimate pick-me-up is the film room.
Yeah.
We will see you in there
got it.
in just a few. But first, one of the consistent standouts in the preseason has been rookie Casey Washington. The 6th-round pick made some impressive catches last night as he looks to lock down a spot on the roster. Our Kelly Price caught up with Washington in the locker room after the game.
Talk about your approach through this preseason and what you've kind of learned over these last couple weeks. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been an eye-opening experience, just to be out there with real pros and kind of learn as I go on. So it's been exciting and a blessing to say the least.
What's the biggest thing you feel like you've kind of learned out there in these 3 games?
The speed of the game is definitely a thing from college to the league. It's different. Everyone out there can move around, and physically it's faster, but at the same time, mentally, you got to learn how to process things quicker. So for me, I've just tried to be as intentional as possible and pick up the playbook as fast as possible as well.
How do you feel like, you kind of performed over these last couple of weeks, and do you feel like you gave the impression that you wanted to this front office, this coaching staff?
Yeah, I feel like I poured everything out I had. Obviously, as a, I guess, perfectionist mentality or mindset, you want to go back and clean some things up, and you see things on film that you can improve on. But I only can control what I can control now, and just leave the rest up to God.
What are the conversations like now at this point? Like, as people are kind of leaving, the nameplates are coming off some of these lockers. Like, what's the kind of feeling right now?
It's real. It's real. As much as this is a game that we've all played from a young age, it's a business. But we know that going into this, and we know what it is. So all we can do, and all I can do personally, is put my best foot forward and see where the chips fall.
It's time to get some game intel from Shock. You're invited into the film room. So cut the lights and let's get started.
Now, making this team is all about making the key plays, the wow plays, the plays that you say, okay, that's a really good play in that situation. Now, here's a play we're going to point out. We got my man Kevin King up here. Here's Kevin King. He's playing in this safety position. What they're going to run here, they're going to call a pin and pull right here. So what happens is this guy's going to crash. This guy's going to crash down as well and get this backer. And they're going to pull this tackle around, and he's going to kick out this corner. But this is the one guy, Kevin King, that has to make this play when he shoots through this gap here. He has to come right through here and make this play on this toss crack on the outside by Jacksonville. Now watch as this play gets started. Come around the corner, there's a crash, and here it is. Now you look at this. There's only one guy who can really make this play. He's going to go out and kick out this corner here. And now you see Kevin King right here. He has to do what you call shoot the alley. This is the alley right through here because it's going to be him one-on-one with this particular running back. Now, if he doesn't make this play, it's a walk-in touchdown, but he has to make this play. Watch him get through here and make this play, an outstanding play. Get some tackle for loss on a guy like ETN. Oh, it's special. Kevin King is a guy who has flashed through the preseason. Justin, we saw him get an interception. Now you see him making plays from the safety spot, safety corner. Justin, this guy can do it all.
Yeah, versatility. That's one way to impress Raheem Morris, Terry Fontenot as they figure things out heading towards roster cutdown day. Shock, thank you so much. We got more to come on Early Birds. It is finally college football season. It's here. It's today. Georgia Tech, well, they are across the Atlantic to kick off the season, plus talk about how long this season's going to go. Michael Jenkins here for that. Plus,
he's a great quarterback. As a receiver, when you get around quarterbacks like Mike, it's really exciting.
Yeah, learning from his fellow rookies, Casey Washington has a lot to learn. You heard from him a moment ago. How do you learn all that stuff? He'll take you inside study hall when we go deep.
You're watching Early Birds, presented by Mercedes-Benz. Best, nothing. And sponsored by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And the Home Depot. How doers get more done. More Early Birds coming back at you.
And welcome back to Early Birds. How about a big hit to start your morning? Donovan Newton here with that tackle there. I mean, look at that. That's unbelievable. 14 tackles last night. Definitely made his case to Raheem and Terry. Falcons will go on the field, and they fell short to the Jaguars to wrap up the preseason. Now, looking forward to the NFL regular season in 2 weeks, but we've got the college football regular season starting today. For that, I'll send it over to my guys, Justin and Jake.
Early Birds. It's not Saturday down south without talking college football. Brought to you by Zaxby's, Famous Fingers and Sauces. Here's Justin Felder.
And we welcome back former Falcons and Ohio State wide receiver Michael Jenkins. And Jank, the wait is over. College football's here.
It's here. Let's go. I got the food prep. I got my spot on the couch. I'm ready.
And it's a little mini slate of games, right? They're going to ease us back into college football season. And lucky for us, the best game of the day involves Georgia Tech. They're taking on Florida State. And Jank, what an opportunity to start the year for the Jackets.
Huge opportunity on a neutral site.
Yep, very neutral.
4,000 miles away.
Yeah.
So opportunity for them to take on the top 10 team in the nation that came off the ACC championship last year, and an opportunity for them to start off their season with a bang.
Yeah, they're going to be out in Ireland, and Ireland will get to see two really good quarterbacks, right? Florida State now has D.J. Uiagalelei. He's played at Clemson before, Oregon State. Tech, though, with Haynes King at quarterback, Jank, had a great season last year.
Great season last year, and he comes back with some 8 other starters that are looking to have a big year. They led the ACC in rushing last year. Haynes King did a phenomenal job with the passing game last year, and for this game, he just needs to limit his turnovers against a really good Florida State defense.
Haynes King and those returning players, they are confident that the Jackets are about to finally take that next big step.
We're a program that's going to be reckoned with, and it's started from top down with what Coach Key's built, not only with who he's recruiting, but with who he's hiring. He cares about the culture of the team, the culture of the locker room. I felt like that's the way to build a program, and we're on the right track right now, and we're just ready to go show it.
I feel like Florida State's kind of tough to get a read on, right? They just missed the playoffs last year. They were kind of upset about that, but a lot of roster turnover, guys going to the NFL, the transfer portal, a lot of folks picking them to win the ACC. It's a real good team today.
It is a really good team, and it's going to be interesting to see how they improve from what they had last year with Jordan Travis at quarterback, Keon Coleman, a star wide receiver, replacing those guys. And yeah, they got a lot of transfers in. They got a really good defense that's still there. So it's going to be interesting to see how they evolve on offense with DJ at quarterback now and the strong run game they have.
And we mentioned it only briefly, this game is in Ireland. Georgia Tech took a red-eye Wednesday night. Brent Key and company woke up Thursday on the Emerald Isle. How big a concern is that with the jet lag, with a new place, with the time difference and everything that comes with it? It's
tough because coaches and players are creatures of habit.
Yeah.
And so for them to travel, pack up a whole almost university and go across the pond, they just have to dial in, be mindful of what their focus is, and that's just to win a football game. It's a 5-hour time difference, Dublin to Atlanta. Brent Key, though, says no big deal, thanks, of course, to the new college football video game.
When did that new video game come out? This summer, right? If you tell me these kids have been going to bed at 9 o'clock every night and waking up on time at 6:30, they've been up playing the game till 2 and 3 in the morning, all right? And then they come out and they practice all day long. They're 18, 20, 22 years old, man. We make, as adults, we make way more of that than it really is. And these guys go out, they play the game all night long, and then they come practice all day and they do it over again. So I'm probably thinking this might actually be on their schedule. Right, we might be interrupting it by trying to do something different. So they'll adjust fine.
It's a video games help. You always got 8 hours of sleep, right? Every night of your playing career?
Never. Yeah. Especially in college.
I did those staying up late playing video games part, not the being athletic part. And as we start the season, Jake, it's going to be jam-packed this year, and I want to get your take on it. In fact, the eventual national champion could end up playing as many as 17 games this year, which is a crazy number, including conference championship, could be up to 4 playoff games. How tough will that be for the athletes?
I mean, that's hard. I mean, we've seen it, not 17, but we've seen LSU in 2019 play 15 games, go 15-0. But 17 is a long season for kids that's never done it before. Now, you have to be mindful that these kids are in school, so they have finals, they have stuff outside of football that they have to be, mentally sharp for. So you add that on with a long season, it can be tough.
Interesting. It'll be a long road to the national championship that could be starting today. Jank, thank you as always. Enjoy the games today. Looking forward to hearing you and Shock next Saturday. Get ready for the first full Saturday of the college football season. Looking forward to it. Well, each week on Going Deep, we ask a Falcons player how they do what they do. And as we break down the preseason games and who's flashing at practice, it's easy to forget all of the classroom learning and solo studying that goes into it as well. That's extra true for rookies like wide receiver Casey Washington. The 6th-round pick explains how he picked everything up in this week's Going Deep.
At first, coming to the NFL, the verbiage, everything is at a different level. And in college, you do signals, and it's a little bit different. So I think for me, it was important to learn how, or figure out how I was going to learn. I started with flashcards, definitely taking steps in the playbook, but I just got to keep stacking days and getting better.
Take me through the flashcards. Do you kind of write down the formations and the call? How do you kind of do that?
I'm a visual guy, so if you look at my playbook, there's a lot of we have plays that are maybe foods or something that you use in everyday life. So some of the plays I have like football players drawn with like something on their head, like visually to remember the play. So if I got to draw like a little doodle or something, that's what I've been doing.
So you're a doodler.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Are you a good doodler, or do you just kind of do it just for fun?
No, I'm definitely, I think I can draw a little bit. I just hope Coach Ike doesn't come around the corner and see me over there drawing on the playbook, but it's definitely helping me.
Interesting. All right, cool. That's all I got.
Playbook and a little artwork. I love it. Well, something else to learn about this season, the new kickoff rules. Health played a large role in why the NFL changed things up. Falcons team doctor will explain next.
Going Deep is brought to you by Zaxby's. Famous fingers and sauces. We're getting your Saturday started right. Early Birds is back in a moment.
Welcome back to Early Birds. Well, the NFL hopes their new dynamic kickoff will bring excitement back to the play and make it safer. It's hard to sum up the new rules quickly, but in essence, it boils down to this. They want to encourage teams to return kickoffs instead of take a bunch of touchbacks, and the way teams line up will reduce the running starts between players, so hopefully the collisions, the tackles, the blocking will be a little safer. We got Falcons head physician Dr. Kyle Hammond's take in this week's Emory Road to Recovery.
I think the new kickoff rule will be interesting to see because obviously we haven't done this before. I mean, it's been implemented to some extent similar in the XFL, and so we've seen it on other football platforms, but I think there's going to be more involvement of the play. The play is more likely to happen. I think the return will happen more commonly, so that will change from previous years where maybe we saw more touchbacks. I think because the players will have a different starting point from when they're allowed to run and then tackle the returner. I think we're going to try to hopefully limit any increases in injuries, but to be quite honest and frank about it, because we haven't done it yet, I think we'll have to monitor that and see that, and I know the league is going to, but I'm optimistic that I think it'll be both better for the players because it'll be more of an involved play for the kickoff returners specifically who are specific to that position. They'll be more involved in the game and the outcome of the game, and then I think also the way the kicking team will likely not hopefully see an increase in injuries based off of how they designed it.
Thanks, Doc. Well, we return. Our spotlight goes on one Falcon defensive back who's using his platform to help the future stars of the game. Stay with us. Early Birds will be right back.
You're watching Early Birds, presented by Mercedes-Benz, on your official home for Falcons football, Fox 5 Atlanta. Early Birds has been presented to you by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Showing the youth, whatever they put their mind to, they can achieve it. So it's crazy because like years back when I was a kid, I was in these young guys' seats.
It was really cool to see. Shock. D. Alford held a youth football camp back in June. It was down in Griffin. He's a proud Spalding High School alum, DJ.
As it should be, man. And I love to see these guys better go back to the community and look up these kids, and they're so bright-eyed, looking up to them like, man, one day I can be that guy. You just heard D. Alford say, I used to be these kids, and now he gets to go back and give back to them. Always a cool sight for these Falcons players to do so.
And to do it playing for his hometown team. That's got to be awesome for him, for his friends, for his family. Organizers told us this camp filled up in 12 hours. Free camp for kids. Very cool from D. Alford. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, by the way, for the Dirty Bird Report. 11:30, Shock will be back. Kelly Price, Michael Jenkins going to break down the final preseason game and get you ready for when the games start to count.
You want to come do a little Dirty Bird Report?
I'll be watching.
You watching?
I'll be watching.
Gotcha.
I was here last night. I'm here this morning. Yeah. But we're heading towards the regular season. What are your final thoughts as we kind of put a bow on the preseason?
You know what? I'm excited to see what all the new additions look like once they all come together on both sides of the ball. I mean, in the offseason, it was all about the free agents that you brought on offense. Now you bring some more guys on defense. That good draft class played really well in the preseason. It's going to be fun to see all that come together and meet for those first couple of weeks because you're going to need everybody for those first couple of weeks to get going.
It's going to be a great start to the season, and we'll be here with you for it. For DJ Shockley, I'm Justin Felder. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a good morning and a great rest of your weekend.